Good evening, one and all. A warm welcome to you all to the second day of our two-day international webinar, organized by Department of Mathematics, Marathanesius College, Kodamangalam. I'm very happy to introduce our resource person, Dr. Norma Elias, Associate Professor, University Technology, Malaysia. Yesterday, we had an informative session on the topic Mathematics for Big Data. Today, we are very eagerly waiting to hear from you, ma'am. Now, on this auspicious occasion, on behalf of Department of Mathematics, Marathanesius College, Kodamangalam, I extend my hearty welcome to you, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am. And I'd like to remind all our participants to keep your mic mute throughout the entire session. And you can post your doubts through comment box so that we can discuss it at the end of our webinar. And I would also like to welcome Dr. Shanti A. Avra, Principal, Marathanesius College, Kodamangalam, and Dr. Rajesh K. Tumbakara, Head of the Department, Head of Mathematics Department, Marathanesius College, Kodamangalam, and Dr. Susan Ray Joseph, Coordinator of this webinar. And now, let me invite Ms. Marina Wilson, Moderator, to take over the session. Over to you, ma'am.
Ma'am, so shall we begin today's session?
Yes.
So yeah, last day we were talking about data scientist and data analyst. So that is when we had to wind up the session. Ma'am, so could you just brief us a bit more on like the job specifications, what all responsibilities and skills that we should possess for this particular job?
All right. So thank you very much to our moderator, Dr. Marina Wilson, okay, the chair, Ezra Marian, and thank you very much to Dr. Rajesh, Dr. Susan Ray Josephs, and then the principal of the Marathanesius College Autonomous, Kotamangalam, Kerala, India. Okay, thank you very much for the invitation, and let's we get admin people here. All right. Okay. Now, to answer your question, okay. I want to explain here. Okay, for this session, we are going to know about how to be data analyst and data scientist. And then we are going to explain about the qualification, skill, responsibilities, and income that Dr. Marina Wilson expressed me a question just now. All right, we are going to go for the roadmap to become a scientist and data analyst, a successful data analyst and data scientist in 2021, future of the data scientist and data analyst, and then the conclusion for this session. All right. So now, yesterday, I just give you a simple question. Okay, I'm agree with you. Okay, 60% said that they know what is a big data analytics. All right. And then the interesting aspect, okay, for be a data analyst and data scientist, most of us said that, okay, always play the data. All right, play around with the data, produce prediction and observation. Means that during pandemic, okay, COVID-19 pandemic nowadays, okay, we believe that people, okay, looking for the e-content, okay, data, for example. All right, so 60% vote, okay, play around with the data. And then how about the data linkage? Okay, all right, 60%, 68% said no. Okay, thank you very much for your feedback. At least we can share. All right, to answer this question, all right, okay, I would like to explain again the difference between data analyst and data scientist. Okay, the data analyst is just to do the descriptive analytics. All right, okay, data scientist is not just to do a descriptive analytics. Okay, for example, big data analytics, machine learning, deep learning, but okay, they need to do a predictive analytics. Okay, so meaning that if we give you a data, for example, data sales for every year, okay, data analyst can visual the data in the column and row in the graph. All right. However, data scientists, they can do a prediction. whether the data increase, decrease, or stagnant. All right. So this we call is a predictive analytics. There is a tool to do that. All right. Okay. Now, when we give them the data, the sales for one company for every, okay, from year 2000, 2011, all right, the data analytics, they know what will happen in future. However, data analysts, they just know what it's be happen till now. Okay, the recent, okay, the recent data. That's all. So this is different between data analysts and data scientists. All right. So to do that, okay, it's not easy because, okay, we know that this carrier is among the top 10 carrier nowadays. Okay, nowadays. All right. For mathematician, statisticians. All right. Why? Because, okay, this carrier provide a power solution to the company, to the industry, to the organization. All right. And then there is adopted by thousands of companies across the globe. Okay, meaning that thousand nowadays increasing people looking for the data analyst, okay, for their company, for their future solution. Okay, high pay, of course, the salary is quite, okay, expensive, quite demanding, and then trending the career path is this decade is in the break, we call as a breakthrough, okay, breakthrough career. All right. So now the responsibility when we want to compare between data engineers and data analysts, okay, we can see the difference. Okay, data engineers that I already mentioned, okay, they are beginning, okay, collecting, cleaning the data, okay, finding the data, okay, go to the bank of data and so on, and then they develop to maintain the data pipeline. All right. Pipeline means that, okay, the data stream, okay, the data set, all right. Ensure data quality and accuracy. Just now we know that the type of data which should be visibility, value, all right, and then develop the maintain the database architecture. Okay, architecture means that there is a cloud, okay, or there is a device, there is a memory to save the data. Data analyst is use a static data to describe data against in sign. For example, just now I explained that data analyst, okay, just describe the, okay, the what the recent data, okay, what happened to the company for based on the recent data. Ensure the data execution and maintenance, and create the dashboard and report. This is my student do. Okay, most of my undergraduate students, they create the dashboard based on the requirement from the company and the report. Okay, there is a tool to do that. All right. Okay. When we compare between data analysts and data scientists, okay, we can see the difference. Okay, the data, okay, scientists more on the data accumulation. All right, they do a data accumulation. They develop the algorithm. That's why they need to have very good in terms of the mathematical modeling, simulation, okay, machine learning, deep learning, and statistical approach. Okay, and then they do the predictive model. And then they do a data visualization in 1D, 2D, or 3D, or multi-data visualization. They can do it, all right? And then prove the concept of the development, okay, why we need the data, and the part of the convincing the shareholder. This is very important. Okay, however, for data analyst, this that I described before is doing the data consolidation, right? So now, when we compare the qualification between data engineers, data analysts, and data scientists, you can see, okay, data engineers, data analysts almost okay, similar. They are based on the degree and then masters, okay, in computer science, statistics, and mathematics. All right, and for data analysts, because they want to get some okay. Result, okay, the conclusion. So they need also collaborate with the people degree in economic, finance, applied statistics, business administration. All right. However, data scientists, okay, because they bring the prediction analytic, So more on masters or degree in science, mathematics, and programming. Also the skill for the multiple languages. All right. Okay. I'm going to explain, okay, what is the multiple languages after this, okay. In Malaysia, okay, the salary for software engineers, nowadays, people working in software engineers, they're also doing data engineers and data analysts and data scientists, okay. This is the salary, okay, for them, okay. Below than 2 years, okay, most of my students, okay, their salary is 3,000, 3,700, 3,900. All right, and then it's depend on the years, okay, up to 9,690 is more than 20 years. All right. Okay, so now, okay, when we go to the, okay, per annum, the salary between data engineers and data analysts, okay, you can see here, data engineers is more, okay, than data analysts. You know why? Because that I explained before, they need to do a data cleaning, data searching, okay, remove the noise, okay. This is a mm, function of the data engineers. It's more function because the root of the data is come from data engineers, okay. Data analysts, they just, okay, do use the data to their job, okay. Now in the business, okay, in the company, in the industry, why they need the data analysts and data scientists? I put a color purple for data engineers. Okay, they do a data collection, data discovery, and then vectorization, meaning that they're using mapping, okay, organizing the data. Data analysts, they're doing a data preparation and then do some modeling, collaborate with the data scientists to do the model validation and selection. All right. And then towards the end, deployment, okay, reproduct. Okay, this is a continuous feedback from the data. All right. So this in the loop, okay, in the circle. So towards the end, they do a data, okay, model tracking, model delay taking, model decay tracking. Okay, why? Because we need to, okay, because the data increasing, okay, the volume of data increasing, all right, okay, the data updating, so the process is continuous, okay, the process is constant, continuous, all right. So what is a skill to be a data analyst? The first is a knowledge in mathematics and statistics that I told you. Okay, why not computer science? Computer science, they know how to do programming, they know how to use a software, they know how to develop a software, apps, and so on. However, the basic concept, okay, for prediction, for analyzing, okay, for do forecasting, okay, is a mathematics and statistics. This is a powerful of the mathematics student and statistics student nowadays. All right, and then they okay, fluent the understanding, okay, about the data. In this case, they're using R and Python. We can apply many, okay, software to do this, okay, function. Most of them, okay, I teach my student to use Scilab, TensorFlow, all right, and then CUDA. Why? MATLAB distributed computing. Why? Because, okay, this help them to learn fast, and then I'm also integrate with the open source software, for example, R and Python. All right, data wheeling, for example, gathering the data, selecting the data, transform data to the prediction, to the answer, to the observation, to the monitoring, is we call as an ethical question. They need to answer, all right? And then, of course, in this case, okay, most of people using Hadoop, all right? Why Hadoop? Because they can solve a big data and then they can do a manipulation and required, all right? Okay, so now, come on, let's we go. What is a skill for data scientists? Okay, since we know about the machine learning, so data scientists, okay, their important is they have a good skill in machine learning or deep learning. They need to understand the multiple analytical function, ability to work with the unstructured data. Unstructured data we learned already yesterday from the various source, for example, image, video, social media, all right, wave, okay, the curve, the graph, and so on. All right. In this case, okay, beside Python, SAS and R and Scala, there is other other strong languages to support the predictive analytics skill. All right. And then SQL, because we deal with the database. Okay, so we are using SQL because this is an open source, and handling with this experience is very good. Okay, because we know how to maintain the database. Okay, so now my question. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. So in the last section, you just spoke about machine learning. So could you just brief a bit more on that? A lot of our students are just degree students, so it would be great if we can speak about machine learning.
All right. So I'm always explain between machine learning, deep learning. What is that? Okay, this is under big data analytics. Okay, so machine learning apply the artificial intelligence, or sometimes people say that AI. Okay, provide a system ability to autonomous the learning process and then the testing process to improve the experience. Improve experience means that okay, we want to get the solution from the data. Okay, I give you a wave. Okay, I give you image. Okay, what is the solution for that image? So this is we call as a machine learning, and then they apply artificial intelligence. Okay, algorithm, for example, ANN. Okay, artificial neural network, support vector machine. Okay, genetic algorithm, extreme learning, and forest. Okay. All right, so now this is a method, okay, we can apply. And then we look, okay, in the big future. Okay, we can see that machine learning is a subset to the artificial intelligence, all right? And then deep learning is subset to the machine learning, all right? Both of these knowledge is very important to be data scientists, because data scientists, okay, use these method to do the data visualization and data analysis, all right? So in this case, okay, there are so many artificial intelligence device, okay, analyze, okay, in the many application. All right, I will explain after this. Okay, what the types of machine learning algorithm that I told you before? We can use a regression. When we have a graph, we can do a regression. We can do a forecasting, for example, weather forecasting, risk assessment, score prediction, and so on. All right, classification, this is very important. Why very important? You know what? Why? Because when we have two group, we want to classify tumor or non-tumor, happy or not happy. Okay, we need to classify, okay, the data in terms of the two classification, maybe three classification or multi classification. And then the other one is clustering. Okay, the data is too much, so we do the city planning, targeted market, and medical research. We do a clustering. Which one is to do the pioneer research, and then advanced research, okay, and then how to integrate with the customer and so on. And then in reinforcement learning, this one is a new, okay, gaming, for example, robot, okay, navigation, and stock trading and assembling line processes. You can see here, okay, we can divide machine learning into two parts. Okay, what into three parts? What is that? Supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. All right, we learned already about the supervised learning and supervised learning yesterday. All right, so now what is the skill, okay, to become a machine learning operation? All right, what is the skill? The skill is as usual, okay, to be a good in machine learning expert, okay, to be a machine learning operator, all right, we need to expert in computer fundamental. For example, at least you know how to do a programming, okay, at least you know how to do the, if the data is huge, okay, means that you need to do a supercomputer. Deep learning on the on the programming skill, at least C programming, at least Fortran, all right? At least you know, okay, programming like MATLAB, all right? And then TensorFlow, Scilab, all right? Python, R, all right? And then since you are very good in statistics, you know what is the probability, you know how to do the variance, okay, the random of the data, okay, and then many types of the statistical chi-square method, for example, normal distribution, bell shape, all right, okay. So at least you know basic about the probability and statistic. And then data modeling and evaluation skill. When we deal with the machine learning that we learned yesterday, there is an indicator to check their performance. For example, specificity, okay, precise, and the specificity and the sensitivity. All right, there are so many indicator, okay, to be analyzed the data. All right, the skill. This is the, I know you cannot, okay, you not learn this in the university. However, try, okay, avoid to use C programming, replace with the Python or R. Avoid to use C programming, replace using the Java, Hadoop. All right, okay, try to use these types of the skill. For example, for me, I'm always, okay, remind student, I'm always ask student to do their problem, to solve their problem, to do the simulation using Python, R, Scilab, all right, and then SPSS, okay, to get the random, okay, the variant, the other parameters of the data based on the statistical approach. All right, I'm also using, okay, Python just now, okay, Python for data engineers, they're also using Python. So there is a collaboration. Make sure the system, the platform in the similar, okay, in similar manner. All right. So maybe
Yeah, ma'am. So all this while you're talking to us about data analyst and data scientist. So how can we become a data scientist or data analyst? Because with just our undergraduate degree or master's degree, can we become one? Could you just brief us on that?
yes, okay, but don't ask me. Chemists and physicians can be a data analyst, all right? Because the background is
Okay,
mathematics and statistics.
matrix
All right, never
background,
mind.
yes.
But there is effort if they want to learn something new. Okay, they want to learn something new because now these people dealing with the data. Am I right? So now, okay, I explained here there is a 9. Okay, actually you can choose which one, but for me, okay, to go for this roadmap to be a data analyst and data scientist, first is a mathematics. Okay, meaning mathematics is a logic thinking. You have a skill, okay, statistic and so on, and then programming, and then you know how to handle the data based on the machine learning. Okay, there is a some classifier method, for example, deep learning, data visualization, big data. You know what is a big data because nowadays people generate data every second, and version control. Version control means that if you develop a system, you develop a software, all right, there is an increasing, updating, okay, and then the latest version of the system, all right. So now, to be a good, okay, mathematician, of course, you need to have basic differential, okay, calculus, okay, basic ODE, PDE, ordinary differential equation, partial differential equation, all right. And then you also have very good, okay, fundamental about linear algebra, matrix operation, and then permutation combination is a also considered, okay, a tool for you to do the decision making. In this case, okay, for the foundation in mathematics and machine learning is one of the indicator. Okay, means that you know how to model the machine learning algorithm. All right, using the mathematical approach. All right, and then the second is a statistic. Okay, you know how to measure the spread of data, the central tendency, the statistical application, and then the shape operation. Okay, shaping operation means that you know how to do stochastic and forecast. Am I right? So make sure that the statistical thinking is much more powerful because they will bring you a concept. There is a transformation between the fundamental mathematics and statistic theory into practice. Okay, because I know some of you know about the theory, Colliers theorem, lemma, rules. Okay, but we want to transform it to the practice because the company give us a data, give us the project, give us the application, the problem. to work through the logic and simulation. This one is important because we want to integrate with the algorithm and developing the programming. All right. Of course, okay, for the programming purposes, you can see here, all right, what you need to do, all right. The first is language syntax, okay. You know how to control your syntax error, data structured, okay, how to structure, okay, and then the data, and then matrix handling. I know you know how to do the matrix multiplication, vectors, okay, transform between vectors to matrix, and expression handling. Okay, in this case, you need to have the fundamental in programming language, for example, MATLAB, Mathematica, C, Python, R will be go a long way. The process of understanding of your problem. All right, this is various types of data streamless. Okay, so this is a improving skill of the programming language. But don't worry, I know you learn undergraduate, so there is a, I think it's common for you, unless okay you want to improve your skill. All right. The fourth is a data handling. Okay, data handling. All right. You know what is a data? Most of you know. Okay, statistic. For mathematics, they generate the data. For statistics, they collect the data, and then how to handle. So the first is reduce the noise, or data cleaning. Do a data cleaning. Data ingestion. All right. And then data manipulation. Okay, manipulate. Maybe you need to put a data in a block, in a group. All right, merge, and then do a few process. Okay, and then the important is a data collection. Why? Because this is a process for further. Okay, there is a, all right, very good. Okay, somebody admin the people here, thank you very much helping me. And because why? Because you are moving from one to another source to a specific definition can be stored for further analysis. That's why you do a data manipulation. All right. And then data collection actually is come from the data engineers at the first stage. And then in this case, okay, for data handling, these are four process, okay, you need to handle. All right. Okay. All right. So now, all right. So now we go to the application, okay, of the data handling. Okay, in my lab, okay, I have the machine. They give me the wave. All right. So to handle this data, I need to transform the data to the grid, to numbers. You can see here there is numbers, and then based on this number, I do the artificial neural network or machine learning, train the data, and then I get the decision. What is the decision? Is make sure that the eyes, okay, the potential of eyes, blink, eyes movement, okay, the stress or strain muscle around the eyes can be monitored. So we can also predict what happened to the eyes after 2 hours. For example, you and me, you are watching me through this streaming, and then after 2 hours, I know, okay, you are very tired, okay, listening, understanding, and then watching. All right. So this is one process. Okay. Second is we have the MRI images, CT scan. All right. There is 1,000 images. What we do, okay, because the data is a 2D, we try to put in the 3D. To do that, okay, the process is very huge because, okay, there are lots of data. We need to do the segmentation or contour. You can see here, I'm doing the contour line, all right, here. And then, okay, merge the data using image monophone method or volume estimation method. So we can see the size based on these two methods is almost similar. All right. So because we deal with a three-dimensional problem, so we need to do domain decomposition and partition the data to a number of processors. And then what is the machine learning involved? Machine learning will describe whether these images is a cancerous or not cancerous, okay, based on the shape and the size of the tumors. And then the second is, you can see here, okay, we have lots of geographical information system, GIS, also in the 2D. All right, we also have the data, okay, from the microscopy, SEM, also in the 2D. All right, so we need to analyze the data using, okay, I'm using genetic algorithm. I'm also using support vector machine. I'm also using artificial neural network to train and then to test the data, to evaluate the data, all right, to get the decision. For example, for geographical information system, okay, I need to know where is the development area, all right. For electrography or EOG, I can detect which is the alpha, beta, gamma, okay, the brain wave will affect the epilepsy, for example. All right, and then for the 2G image or ESAM, okay, I can find, okay, where is the e-waste to be recycled. Okay, so there are so many ways, okay, to do the machine learning, and then there are so many algorithm we can use. All right, so you can see here, okay, I want to detect, okay, which location in Malaysia detected from the disease, animal disease, okay, that you are familiar, okay, for example here, okay, um, okay, for example, is a brucellosis, okay, jaundice and Nipah. So you can see in the map of Malaysia, okay, animals in north of Malaysia affected by jaundice, okay, one of the disease, okay, animal disease, veterinary disease in Malaysia. And then the south area, okay, the west, okay, the west area, okay, and also the east area, okay, there is a brucellosis, the affected the animals in Malaysia. Animals, okay, veterinary animals, okay, for example, cow, buffalo, goats, and so on. Right, so we can detect using the genetic algorithm. Right. So another research, okay, you can find the sensitivity, specification, preciousness, the number of classifier method of the machine learning. All right, and then you can do, okay, the testing, the performance indicator, okay, of the number of method that you are familiar with. However, based on the visualization, okay, of the result from the classifier method, I can detect in the 3D, okay, which part is tumors, which part is normal, is not tumor. So this is a come from the indicator here. All right, from this indicator, okay, I can transform the data to the 3D, the 2D dimensional space with the tumorous case happen. All right, you can see here the red color is tumorous because they are fulfill the requirement X between 378.058 is the size of the tumors, and then should be greater than 0.043. Okay, the sample is considered as tumor. So this is the powerful of the machine learning. We can transform the result into 2D visualization. Right, the data we can transform to 2D visualization. All right, so now the next is a machine learning. All right, I know we are mathematician. We don't know what is a machine learning. We feel that computer science know about machine learning. However, all right, the engine, the fundamental of machine learning is come from mathematics. Okay, they are based on the how to train the data. Okay, maybe many aspects. All right, how to simplify the machine learning algorithm. All right, how to do the semi-supervised learning, and then recommendation system and data manipulation. So that is a machine learning. So in this case, okay, skipping concept of maths and stat will get the machine learning work. Okay, but if you okay, have a good maths and statistics, so machine learning will go, okay, will produce a good result. All right, and then understanding the terminologies and how the algorithm work. I know mathematician, they are good, okay, to develop algorithm, and how to read the algorithm, to understand the algorithm, and so on. Right? Okay, now in the real world application, okay, there are many activities when you deal with the data. The first is, okay, detection. Which part you want to detect, all right? Which part you want to make sure, okay, the area of my room is too cold or medium or hot. Okay, you can do the detection here. Segmentation, I'm always, okay, explain to you, when you deal with the image, you need to do the segmentation. There are many methods to do the segmentation, to do a contour, because based on the segmentation, you can guess whether the animal is cat or duck or dog. All right. And then classification. This is very important. Okay, I use classification to classify the images of MRI, CT scan to be a tumors or non-tumors. All right. And then object recognize. Okay, this is very important. For example, okay, the teeth, okay, face recognition, eyes recognition, colors recognition, and so on. So this is okay, four main, okay, target for the real world application. So now when we want to express to the machine learning, so Kimo, what is the question here?
Ma'am, so what is the difference between machine learning and deep learning? So do they differ? And also, what are the key tools that support machine learning?
All right, so there is two questions here. Okay, the first is what is a tool? The second is what is the difference between machine learning and deep learning?
Yes,
All
yes,
right,
ma'am. Yes.
so the tool for machine learning, why we deal with the machine learning, okay, because we want to do the activities, for example, classification, regression, clustering, okay, dimensional reduction. Okay, I already explained dimensional reduction. Okay, there is so many parameters: height, heat, age, okay, heart disease, and so on. So we want to dimension. We want to make the parameters as very, okay, specific. For example, not 4 parameters. We want to reduce to 3, for example. Clustering, because there are so many, okay, population in Malaysia, for example. We go to the clustering. All right. Regression, okay, we put a line, okay, to make a difference between 2 cluster. Classification, okay, we can classify, okay, the data into 2 group, okay, into 3 group or multi-group. All right. So now the tool for machine learning, okay, because the machine learning, okay, there is a process to do this. Okay, for example, okay, we are using tracking. Okay, we can use the data and modeling for tracking. And then we also need a cloud. Okay, why? Because cloud is able to save our data memory. And then there is a hardware building. We want to build our own deep learning. We can build our own, all right, using the that I told you, maybe Cras, okay, maybe TensorFlow, maybe MATLAB, for example. Okay, hyper parameter tuning. Okay, this one is a when we use automation machine learning. And then towards the end, recycle a machine learning, because the data is increasing. Okay, the noise you want to calculate, okay, to be a value data. So there is a recycle again, and then use interface design. Why? Because when you deal with the stakeholder, when you deal with the your boss, your, okay, customer, you need to have the interface, okay, or apps or system to work down. All right. So now there is a tool. Okay, I'm not sure you are familiar with this tool. As a mathematician, I know you are not familiar because you deal with the, okay, mathematics software, for example. However, try to convert whatever you familiar with, for example, MATLAB, Mathematica, Maple, C++, all right, and then you are using Fortran, for example. Now let's try, okay, other software, okay, dealing with the machine learning. For example, Jupyter, TensorFlow that I told you, Python, all right, Detectron, Google Cloud, okay, Google Cloud, because Google also provide the memory to save the data. Microsoft Azure, okay, Azure, and then to do for the, okay, recycle machine learning. You can use a Kubeflow, Seldom, machine learning flow. All right. And this is a software, I know it's not familiar, but this help you when you want to solve a specific problem. All right. And then you have to know, okay, when be a data scientist, the important, okay, to do a predictive analytics. Okay, what is a predictive analytics? Okay, we have a tool. The tool is artificial intelligence, data mining, machine learning, statistics, and the statistical modeling. All right. So now, okay, go to the tool. Is IBM predictive analytics. You can go to the IBM predictive analytics. You can also use SAS, okay, predictive analytics, and SAP predictive analytics. All right. Okay. At the same time, you can expose yourself with the popular machine learning and deep learning packages. Okay, that I already explained before. Okay, Python and R. Okay, Python and R. Okay, now you see that what is different between machine learning and deep learning. All right, the difference between machine learning and deep learning. Okay, the first that I already visual, deep learning is subset to the machine learning. All right, deep learning, okay, cannot apply for the small data. Okay, when we apply deep learning for the small data, so that will cause the overfitting. We can cause the overfitting. All right. So the deep learning involve a big data. All right. They will use to image to do a image recognition, natural language processing, convolutional neural network. This is a method always deal with the deep learning. Okay, the basic neural network and the recurrent neural network. Okay, deep learning, they can skip many steps. All right, for example, feature extraction, pre-processing, post-processing. All right, so they can straight, okay, to the analytical predictive. All right, why? Because the data is too huge. Okay, and then we know that the Python library, okay, for example, TensorFlow, Keras, okay, PyTorch, and Theano will support the deep learning algorithm, right? So this is the algorithm of the deep learning, okay. Machine learning just now, what is that? Okay, I already expressed about support vector machine, artificial neural network, genetic algorithm, extreme learning, and then the iForest. Okay. However, the basic for deep learning, okay, that I already explained here is a convolutional neural network, artificial neural network, k nearest neighbors, hierarchical cluster, okay, clustering. I'm going to compare this method. Okay, k means clustering, okay, recurrent neural network, and then the basic is a linear regression and logical regression. This is a basic one, right? So why? Because the fundamental of mathematics from linear regression, logical regression is available for any types of data, any type, whether it's small, big, or huge, all right, or huge. All right, so now to answer, okay, Marina question, okay, let's we go to the comparison. You can see it here is a deep learning subset to the machine learning, okay. Deep learning is a subset to the deep learning, machine learning. And then you can see here with the traditional method, for example, machine learning, we need to go through all this process. Okay, deep learning, they can skip all the process, they go to the performance evaluation. All right, they skip all the process because what? The data is huge. Okay, the data is big. All right, you can see here, okay, the comparison in terms of the strength, weaknesses, okay, of machine learning and deep learning. Okay, you can see here the weaknesses of the machine learning. They cannot handle high dimensional data. Why? Because when we handle the high dimensional, means that high dimensional, many parameters, okay, too many variables. Okay, so when we do that, okay, there is an overfitting. However, deep learning, when we use a small data, okay, they also called the overfitting. All right, why? Because deep learning required large amount, huge amount of the labeled data. All right. So in this case, the important here, okay, the inference is more important than prediction. Why? Okay, interpretable predictive model can lead to the knowledge discovery. Okay, whatever you do with the data, you can get some conclusion. Okay, some knowledge discovery, maybe okay, breakthroughs. Okay, the result. Okay, with data visualization, you can see here. Okay, this is very important, especially for mathematician. Why? Because okay, we do a data streaming. Why? Because um, we can tell something, okay, about the, for example, a business, okay, intelligent market today. We can tell the story, okay, the modeling, the data organization, and then the creativity, okay, about the data in 1D, 2D, 3D visualization. All right, that will make the end result understand, and then the product can be more marketable. Right. So how to do a data visualization? Okay, since we have the data constellation. Okay, what is a data constellation? It's a number of nodes, number of data set, and a number of a group of set. Okay, which is a really extreme large scale of data, dynamic, and then heterogeneous data stream. The heterogeneous means that many types of data. So what should we do? We need, okay, to retrain the data. We need to, okay, organize the data into the graph of nodes, or maybe, okay, into the table of nodes, or the table of link, or the best one is a polygon, okay, of data. Polygon meaning that in 3D. All right, so this is very important because we want to visual the data, okay, make the people understand about the data. Okay, you can see graph of nodes is very important for me, especially when I do the AMOS or PLS. Okay, I need the weighted, the integrated between the nodes, okay, between the parameters, between the factors, all right, between the variables. Okay, that's we want for the data visualization. All right. Okay, big data. People always say that big data, how big? This is a simple question. I told you the big data is based on the volume, variety, okay, velocity, all right, the value of the data, visibility. There are 7V related with the data. All right, so the important is the data engineering, okay, that we collect, okay, whether data is come many types of the structured, unstructured, labeled, unlabeled. Okay, we are doing the okay, uh, learning, okay, based on the data. All right, whether you can get the data from the data bank, okay, all right, and then also you can get from the Apache Foundation. It depends on the application itself, and then this is why we understand the data offering the requirement, for example, to solve a grain challenge application. What is a grain challenge application? For example, images, okay, there are so many numbers, all right, so many size of metrics, okay, all right, and then the parameters involved, for example, in this room, how the temperature behavior, okay, influenced by the device, by the aircon, and so on. So what we do is a knowledge about the database, okay, and design to the stored structured data in table. So this is very important. Okay, we try to tabulate the data. All right. So now, when we do the comparison between the big data and machine learning, what the integrated, what is the relationship? Okay, data use. Machine learning is what we call is a technology for the data driven. Big data is not involve any data driven. There is a variety, okay, purposes of data based on a number of data collection. All right. Foundation of the learning, okay, machine learning, okay, they are focused on the learning or testing the data. All right, we do the fundamental requirement for the machine to teach itself, okay, to learn itself. But data, okay, big data is just the existing information to look for the emerging pattern. Okay, they're waiting for machine learning to train their data. All right, that's all. That is very, very different. The pattern recognition, Okay, for big data, they can reverse some pattern through the classification and the sequence analysis. However, machine learning will have a big data to a concept of using some algorithm and train the data, analyze the data to automatically learn from the collected data. All right, so you can see, okay, big data is very important for learning process. For data volume, okay, machine learning will fail when they are using a big data, okay, because there will be got the risk. For example, okay, what is the risk? Is a overfitting. Okay, there is no result based on the overfitting. And then the purpose of the big data is to store a large volume in the cloud, for example. But machine learning, the purpose is to train the data, to test the data, to estimate the future result. So this is the differences between big data and machine learning. All right. So the last part for data scientists, and this is a part for the machine learning operators, or maybe that scientists, okay, they need to work together, okay, with the repository. Repository means a library, okay, of their software, okay, development. So in this case, okay, there is a tracking challenge, okay, to change the source code during the software development. All right, there are so many people want to enhance the version for the production environment. Okay, the knowledge, for example, library and repository, GIT, the distributed version, is one of the spark your career as a data scientist and data analyst. I know, okay, mathematician, okay, they're not effort, okay, to do this. Maybe they need to collaborate with a computer science student, okay. Okay, now we go to the example here. Okay, when we deal with the machine learning, we need to do the classification. There are many types of classification. One of them is a binary classification. We want to classify, okay, the images is a tumor or not tumor. Okay, there are three types of classification, okay, of this okay, is a, we want to classify whether the segmentation of the tumor images, okay, the specific tumor, the size of tumor, okay, the pattern of the tumor can be glioma, okay, magnolin, or okay, pituitary tumor. Okay, we want to classify the images to three classification. So how to do that? Okay. Okay, the first, okay, we need to do the visualization of the data from images, okay, and then from here we classify which is a tumors and which is not tumors, okay, and then after that, okay, we do the software development. I hope I can share with you how I can okay, develop a software for this process. Okay, let's we go to the tumor images. Okay. Okay, I share with you now. Okay, all right. Okay, okay, you can see here. Okay, how I develop the software. Okay, it's not easy. All right, I'm using at the same case. Okay, I and my PhD student, we are using MATLAB. Okay, we are using MATLAB. All right. So when we have 2D images, there are so many images. One patient have around maybe 50 images of their tumor MRI, tumor CT scan. Okay, there are many. All right. So we want to specific a specific area, the targeted area. We need to do a segmentation of the images, and then we do the post processing. All right, to get a specific area of the tumor at the MRI images. All right, based on this specific, okay, we can classify whether, okay, comparison with the number of images, we can compare whether the images is tumors or not tumors. We are using 2,000 images with the similar pixel, all right? So for the extract, for the without pre-processing and with processing, we compare. We believe that based on the post-processing, the tumorous area very, very clear. All right, very, very clear. All right. So now I'm stop sharing. I go to back to my presentation. All right. So now, okay, I'm sharing you my presentation. All right. Maybe I pass to the moderator.
Yes. Ma'am, so we spoke about big data, deep learning, and everything. So our initial topic was on data analyst and data scientist. So could you just brief us on how or which all areas we have to focus to become a successful data analyst or a data scientist in current situations?
Hmm. All right. I know. Okay. I know that we are mathematician. Okay. We are not computer science. Okay. We are not engineers. All right. We are also not. People dealing with data too much. Okay. We are student. Okay. We are lecturers. Okay. However, we know that okay, the spec of student, our student can be a data scientist or data analyst. All right. So from the previous slide, we can see that data science is a multidisciplinary okay area. For example, I just explained to you what is a machine learning. Machine learning is a artificial intelligence process for the data. And then what is statistics? Statistics is very important because they can give us a forecast, multivariate, stochastic environment for the data, the result of the data. And then we do the visualization, okay, in 1D, 2D, 3D data based on the specific, okay, condition. All right. So all here is give effort to do a data science, okay, for the specific area. For example, here I'm looking for the business, okay, business problem. Okay, there is a knowledge from this business. Okay, there is problem of this business. They do the analysis based on the data science that we get, and then they do the business strategy. Okay, as we know, okay, the multidisciplinary area, we need the integrated, we need a network, we need the communication, we need the collaboration between the areas. All right. Okay, now let's we explain here how to be a successful data analyst and data scientist for year 2021. All right, you can see here the first is certificate. Try to get a certificate from a reputation online institute because we are in the COVID-19. Coursera is one of the online institute that you can get the certificate. What is a certificate? Is integrated between the big data and data science. All right. So now the second is a develop the supplementary skill. I know your primary skill is the mathematics, statistics. All right. So now try to develop the supplementary skill, for example, machine learning. All right. And then open source software. All right. And then the integrated between the machine learning, deep learning, okay, and their classifier method. All right. Build trust in various stakeholder and employee. And this one, if you are already employed at the company, make sure that you have a skill, okay, including business experience, how the company run a business, how their business model, how their business strategy, all right, shape the observation, okay, and then efficient the problem solving of the company, and then try to increase the communication skill. That's why I told you when you want to explain something, you need to have a good storyboard, all right? And then data analyst and data scientist career is looking for network. Start do your network to connect with the industry leader and the subject matter, which is very good in their subject, their content, their expert, all right? And then we believe, okay, this process, okay, will be a more rewarding data scientist career we will develop because we know that nowadays, especially in COVID-19, people looking everything in virtual, people looking everything in e-content. All right. Why? Because this is a right time and right data for do research or for do the exploration, okay, investigation on COVID-19, education 4.0, and others economic issues. Okay, this is the issues that we face nowadays, okay, during this pandemic. All right, what is a skill? Okay, when we talk about the skill, okay, people said that mathematics and statistics for data analysts. I know. Okay, what other skill? Other skill is handling the data. All right, and then there is some okay knowledge on the popular ETL, for example, SAP, okay, Alteryx, SQL Server, QLeaks View, okay, which is I'm not familiar, okay, you also not familiar. However, when you deal with the problem, with the project, we need to know. Okay, I'm familiar with the SQL because I deal with the database, all right? And then bonus for you if you have a knowledge on big data tools and technology, for example, Hadoop, Spark, Hive, Peak, for example. And then you also need to have experience with the SQL, NoSQL, HBase, MongoDB, and Cassandra. All right. So never mind. Okay, we can learn a little bit after this. All right. And then for do the analyzing and visualization of the data, you need the okay NumPy, Quick View, okay Tableau, and this is important for you to have a good communication and storytelling skill. Why? Because you deal with the many people, okay, data analysts dealing with the data engineers and data scientists. For the skill of data scientists, okay, of course, okay, they need to have all this skill, descriptive anything with the data analyst, okay, all from the data scientist, plus, okay, plus predictive analytics, for example, artificial intelligence, data mining, machine learning, and statistical modeling. So SAS, for example, SPSS, IBM predictive analytics software, Learns, okay, Scikit Learns, all right, TensorFlow and Keras is one of the important tool to do the predictive analytics, right? Okay.
Ma'am, so now can you please explain on the process of big data analytics, like its features, reduction, and classification?
Mhm. All right. So we learned already in machine learning. Machine learning, we can do classification, okay, clustering, all right, dimensional reduction, all right. So in this case, we want to be more specific. For example, feature. Feature, there are so many types of feature, all right, based on the types of data itself, all right. And then reduction. There are so many parameters involved, too many dimensional, how to reduce the reduction. Okay, for example here, okay, we have three parameters. Okay, what is that? Okay, income, okay, the salary, the age, the favorite color. All right, but we can escape a favorite color. We want to focus the income and age for analyze this data. So pick a subject of the original dimension. Okay, there are three dimensions here. So we pick a good class predictors. Okay, this is very important when we do the feature selection. All right, for example, here we have three features. Okay, we bring to the two features. Why? Because we want to develop a very accurate prediction, which is not okay involved. Okay, for our prediction, we try to skip. Right? Why we do a reduce dimension? Why we do the dimensional reduction? Why? Because we want to discover hidden correlation topics. Okay, means that which is okay, some company, okay, there is a hidden, okay, correlation, they want to escape, all right, remove redundant or noise features. This is very important. And then interpretation and visualization make easiest when we reduce the parameters and easy to store and easy to process the data, all right? So this is one of the skill. The second skill is okay, which is popular nowadays. What is that? Okay, LDA, linear discriminant analysis. This is a popular method for the what we tell just now is a classification, regression, and so on. Okay, so you can see here, okay, why we go for the best method, because we want to avoid the overfitting. All right, and then we can also work smoothly with a small database. All right, this is what we want, and then the data should be homogeneous, okay, to make good result. Okay, so for the classification features, people always looking for the linear discriminant analysis. All right, and then they try to compare with the PCA, principal component analysis. Why? This is a basic, okay, method for the classification. All right, for my master's student, for my PhD student, we enhance this method, LDA and PCA, based on the different types of data. All right, so now the important what is that? Okay, we can visual the data, we can classify the data, we can do the regression of the data, we can group the data, we do the data constellation, right? You can do data constellation. This is the aim of our vision, okay? Because when the data analyst talk with the stakeholder, they can understand, okay, based on the data visualization here, right? Okay.
So, ma'am, standing amidst all these pandemics, what future do you see for a data scientist and a data analyst?
Hmm. Okay, I know this is a best, okay, the for popular carrier nowadays. Okay, so for future, okay, we believe that, okay, the future, okay, the growth, okay, the important people as a data scientist and data analyst, okay, this career prospect will be growth, okay, drastically. You can see here the next 5 years, okay, the next 5 years, okay, for example, okay, okay, 2019, we just passed by 2019, okay, there is a 4 billion data recorded, okay, and then this, you can see my first talk, okay, the data increased 25% during the COVID. But how, okay, you can, when we compare with the previous data, they said that they increased 54%, right, 50%. So the artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and big data is driving the modern, okay, way how to create a new infrastructures, okay. And then as you see, okay, in my hand here, there are 4 devices, okay, per person nowadays. And then one person will create 1.7 megabyte data every second for one person, because there are 4 devices around me. So this happened. So there are so many data, okay, there are so many way to do the predictive analytic, to do a prediction, to do the monitoring, to do the observation. All right. You can see here in 2025, 25 billion device exists in the globe. All right. And then the bad data. Okay. I just asked you a question about the hacking, about the, okay, data leakage. There is because of the hackers. So they create okay, 3 trillion, okay, US dollar cost for per year. All right. So that you can see here for US Air Force, they create 1.8 trillion produced every 60 seconds. Every 1 minute, the data produced is a 1.8 trillion. Okay. Wow, it's too much. Okay. So this is your spec. So the challenge for big data nowadays is what? Is too high, okay, multi-dimensional data. And then the size is too huge, okay, the volume of data is too huge. And then the computational complexity is too high, all right. And then the complex model, okay, created from the big data is too complex. So this is a challenge for big data, okay, and also challenge for you as a data analyst and data scientist, all right. So this next challenge is computer generation increase very drastic. Okay, for example, now we are in the 5th computer generation. Okay, I'm go to the IBM supercomputer timeline. Right now, people looking for the high performance supercomputer cost consortium. Right, so they integrated, okay, between the supercomputer and supercomputer. All right, so this is challenge for you because you need to solve your problem using cloud, using supercomputer, using high performance computing consortium. All right. So this is a challenge. It's depend on the computer generation itself. All right. The second is a connected in future. So I love if I can share with you some information here. All right, so let's we go. If I can on this video, okay, back again. All right, what is the future? Okay, I try to share with you the future. Okay. Okay, you can see here, okay, there is a integrated, okay, let's okay, share with you the future. Okay, there is an ecosystem. Okay, there is a ecosystem infrastructures. Okay, you can see there is an integrated, there is a network, there is a data level. Okay, means that the connection level, okay, up to the 3D. People always say that blockchain. Now, people looking for the intelligent blockchain. Okay, and then the data is economic framework because the data is in our globe. Okay, there are so many data. You can specific your business. Okay, for example, there is an energy agent here. They can do the forecast of the energy. All right, in the, for example, in your smart city, easy to find everything using the car agent. Okay, for example, you want to find entertainment, the food and everything. All right, the information, the knowledge also easy because it's an insight. Okay, it's a give impact to you. You can do many things in the short time period. All right, and then why? Because people, okay, using device, okay, they do online, okay, they use visualization, okay, software, and here, easy to find what you want, what you need. Why? Because the artificial intelligence, because of the artificial intelligence perspective. All right. So now I'm stop sharing. Okay, at least you get there are some ideas how drastic the connection, okay, between the device, between the internet of thing. Okay, thing is a device, internet means that the connection, and then there is a cloud to support the data generated. So that's why I already said that it's not the just a data constellation, okay, graph, but there is a constellation network hypergraph. It is a considered hypergraph. And then when you stay in this environment, the cyber security solution for big data processing should be one of the important key. All right, cyber security solution. All right, cyber security solution. So in this case, okay, we need the honest data. Okay, we want the data is a visibility, okay, to do some exercise, some research, okay, some forecast, and some predictive analytics. All right. So for the constellation roadmap, okay, I believe that, okay, for today you are using peer-to-peer network. You are from India, I'm from Malaysia. We do a peer-to-peer network with the um, data security. For 2020, all right, you can see here, people looking for the secure data source. Okay, people looking for the encryption, description of the data. For 2022, okay, people, okay, looking for the machine to machine, all right. For example, money transferring, they do a machine to machine, and then they start do the automation building, all right, or the we call a smart city, all right, smart education and so on. 2020, 2023, okay, there is a tokenized data marketplace. What is a tokenized? Is same as what? Monetize data by enriching the application, right? So I think, okay, in this case, data scientists and data analysts is very, very important, okay, to do the predictive analytics, okay, to do the forecast, to do the clustering, to do the classification, to do the regression and so on. All right. Okay, now I already send you just now the video. All right. So what we want to approach here is a holistic. Okay, whatever you do, whatever decision making with the data, okay, you need to involve the holistic value. All right. Whatever technology you want to bring, for example, okay, you also need to involve the holistic value. The important is this process will improve the operational excellence. Okay, we want to do the artificial intelligence, all right, or the automated process, okay, dealing with the data, all right. Okay, and then of course, okay, many times I express here, okay, I think this is the third time, there are three philosophies to deal with the career of data analyst and data scientist. What is the three philosophy? The first is a literacy, how you do a printed material, ability to read, ability to understand, ability to create, to innovate and communicate with the data, with the visual and then with the digital media. And then second is competent. I know you are now going to be competent, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. Competency involved in working with the data, with the hardware, with the software, with the gadget, with the application, with the network, with the tool, with the artificial intelligence of the machine learning and deep learning. All right. The third is ethical. Ethical should be crossover. Crossover, okay, depends on your function. Okay, should be ethical. Ethical. Personal responsibility. You do the corporate engagement and public disclose with the policy. You agree with them, with the ethical. And then of course, okay, this holistic value need for the humanizing data scientists and data analysts. This is very important. For the intellectual aspect, I know, okay, and okay, whatever religion, whatever cultural you have, the important is spiritual, integrated with your heart, with the soul, to bring the knowledgeable, the wisdom, and then the choice of the intellectual aspect that you want to highlight here. All right, so this is very important. Okay, the issue here is how to holistic your data. This is very important. Okay, so as a conclusion, I can say that, okay, there is a 7V, velocity, okay, velocity, volume, variety, veracity, volume, okay, visibility and variability will only become larger and more complex over time. Okay, you can see, okay, just now there is a video where the data is very integrated, okay, even though a small device to a big device. Okay, the scope here is to be a good big data analytic as a solution, as a predictive analytic, okay, to get the solution, whatever problem you have. And then you can see this, okay, that for industrial, okay, assessing sustainability business potential is come from the messy data, okay, from the messy data before we do the structured, unstructured, labeled and unlabeled data. All right. There are three philosophy that I express here. What is that? Okay, is literacy, competent, and the ethical. And then there is three skill, okay, for lead, okay, a career in data analyst and data scientist. Okay, what is that? And then the three skill: machine learning, deep learning, artificial intelligence. All right, the integrated tool, okay, for use a big data, use a cloud, use robot automation, Internet of Things, integrated with the machine learning because this data is a source to create, to generate a big data. Okay, so now I know, okay, okay, the more sustainable enabling for industrial revolution is dealing with the data. time data, sharing between the data provider and then the artificial intelligence expert, for example, here, data analyst and data scientist. All right, so we hope that this is a more sustainable and enabling for industrial revolution in the companies, in the industry, in the organization, and so on. All right, so the next is a data driven. Okay, what is a data driven? Is come from the big data management to do a decision making. All right, to do a decision making, we need a multidisciplinary skill. Okay, I already mentioned here what is the skill. Okay, machine learning, visualization, okay, mathematics skill, statistics skill. All right, and then we need to know about the deep learning, data science, and all the communication integrated between the data. All right, so this is important. I hope as a mathematician, we try, okay, we try to fulfill the requirement, okay, as a data scientist or data analyst, right? So I hope mm, we can get the result, okay, whatever you just write this now. I'm looking for your result, okay. Let's we go, okay, I'm stop sharing. I want to share, okay, I want to share the result, okay, from you. Okay, you can see here, okay, this is your result. Okay, when I ask you a question, okay, let's we vote for this result. Okay, why data analysts and data scientists being a popular career nowadays? Okay, write one words. So of course, the big one is a demand. Okay, why demand? Because now people creating a big data. Okay, the second is salary. Of course, the salary is one of the important aspect. Okay, especially for COVID-19 pandemic. All right, and then the third one, what is the biggest? Okay, is a business. Okay, business decision is a business trend nowadays. All right. So thank you very much. Okay, let's we pass to the moderator, Dr. Marina Wilson.
So thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for being with us both days. I'm pretty sure that all our participants are very much impressed by your presentation. And thank you so much for introducing this new area or new career for all of us. So, if the participants have any questions that they would like to ask, please post it in your chat box. Ma'am, so meanwhile, one thing that I would like to ask is what all different courses are offered by your institute when related to data scientist and data analyst?
Right. Actually, in Malaysia, okay, there are so many faculties nowadays. Okay, looking for, let's we go to University Technology Malaysia. Okay, um, you can, okay, for example, computer science. Okay, actually, it start from computer science. Okay, it start from computer science, and then followed by mathematics. Okay, for myself, I'm teaching parallel computing. All right, and then for other faculty also looking for the big data. For example, engineering, because they create a device and then they analyze the data generated from the device, from the sensor, from the Internet of Things, from the wireless, from so it's become popular. Okay, why? Because most of the what we deal now is with the data and the physics and chemistry. Okay, they're also looking for the data because they like to go to the lab. Okay, they cannot stay in the lab for the long time period. So they use a data collected from the chemical reaction. Okay, they create the wet lab and get the data from the wet lab. So this is a quite popular. All right. So the skill that we bring, okay, not just training or workshop, but there is a specific. You can go to www.upm.my. Okay, and then there are regular, okay, regular courses. There are regular training, and also there is a faculty um, offer the degree, okay, in the not focus on the data analyst or data scientist, but data science. Okay, this is a quite popular subject. And then we also have research institute, research alliance. Okay, uh, dealing with the big data, dealing the smart cities, smart device, and so on. So people can go, students can go to research institute, research alliance, research group, okay, and work with the lecturers, and towards the end is a faculties, okay. There are many alternatives, right?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So our participants have raised a few concerns or queries. So over to that. Ma'am, Miss Anu Mary has asked you, can you tell us about the courses in this field?
Courses
This field.
in what?
About the courses in this field, as in data analyst and data scientist.
Okay, in industry, courses in
Yes,
industry.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay. Okay, in the Faculty of Science, okay, we have a subject we call as industrial training, okay, or internships, all right. So they are working in the industry, all right. And most of the people, okay, most of the students here, they deal with the data, okay. They analyze the data because we are doing what we call virtual learning, okay. Even though they are doing industrial training, but virtual, work from home. Okay, and to do this, okay, they're dealing with the data, and then they analyze the data and they give back to the industry, present to the industry. There is a storyboard that I said to you, okay. They create dashboard, okay, report based on the analysis itself, right? So what they do is a pioneer result, okay, pioneer result. So in mathematics department, we also have a mathematical industrial mathematics, okay. Even though our department, okay, is also called as a mathematical, okay, sciences, okay, meanings that mathematics is not just for mathematics, but mathematics for science, for STEM, okay, engineering, science, engineering, okay, mathematics, okay, and other discipline. So you can go to www.tmby, okay, and you can see there is a many courses dealing with the application. The important now, we need to have them integrated with the industry or the companies or the organization, right?
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Now, Dr. Susan Ray Joseph have asked us, are there any tools to check the reliability of the data since data can be generated?
Okay, actually, that I told you trust. Okay, come on. Okay, if I can go to the slide here, the important is a trustness. Okay, okay, we can go here. Uh, where is the slide? This one. Okay, the important is trustness. Okay, I share with you now. Okay, reliability is what we need is a honest data, okay, value data, all right, and then visibility of the data. So the important is the honest data, okay. I think I can answer your question, okay, with this one slide, okay.
Okay, ma'am. So the next question that is raised is by Mr. Arumugam. So how flexible should be our curriculum to include mathematical tools, statistical tools, and computers?
Yes, most this is a popular, okay, subject. They want to integrate between statistics, computer science, and mathematics. Okay, why? Because to fulfill the requirement in future. So in this case, okay, I think okay, what we do is joining faculty, all right, joining. Okay, now in University Technology in Malaysia, we have a few faculty. We don't have too many faculties. Okay, why? Because we want the multidisciplinary, okay, knowledge for our student. Okay, and then there is a prerequisite. Okay, and then student can take the subject from many faculties. Okay, why? Because they want to improve their skill as an elective subject. This is one of the skill for student to increase their um, their knowledge. Okay, let's I go for this one. Okay, if I can share with you. Okay, I want to share with you, okay, one of the important, okay, conclusion. Okay, let's we go to the data sharing here. Okay, as a conclusion, you can see here. Okay, I write here. Okay, you need to go for the online. Okay, online skill. Okay, for example, if I can go down. Okay. Yeah, this is a skill, okay, that we need. So how to conquer this skill? This is one issue, all right? So at this moment, okay, try to get one project with your lecturer, which is apply this skill. So can you do that? Can you find the lecturer who are apply this skill, because this will help you to be a data scientist and data analyst. Okay, and then second, try to get online courses. Okay, for example, Coursera. Okay, and other organization, they develop a certificate we call as a professional certificate related to the integrated between science, mathematics, and computer, right?
So thank you, ma'am, for being with us today. So now I invite Dr. Susan Ray Joseph to conclude this section. Over to you, ma'am.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, all of you. It was indeed a great time listening to Dr. Norma A. Elias from University of Technologies, Malaysia. Now let me take a few seconds to express the words of gratitude. First of all, let me express the sincere thanks from the management of Marathanishus College, the Department of Mathematics, all the faculty members, and each one of the participants for the informative and motivating speech, which was indeed an eye-opener into the big world of big data analysis. Thank you very much, madam, for your enthusiasm and willingness to share your knowledge, which is much useful for career aspirants. Now, information at the right time can change the lives of many. Hope this webinar, the information for the participants will help them in their life's journey and they can use it for their career aspirations. Next, let me express my sincere thanks to the management of Marathanishus College for the encouragement, support, and the opportunity. Next, let me extend the sincere thanks of the department to the principal of Marathanishus College for the support and the guidance which madam always gives to the department in all the endeavors of the department. Now, words of gratitude or thanks are not just enough to say thanks to Dr. Rajesh K. Tumbakara, the head of the department, who is the backbone of the department. It is the initiativeness and the enthusiasm of Sir that has made this webinar come true. Thank you very much, sir, from the bottom of our hearts. Now, the moderator, Ms. Marina Wilson's timely questions has kept this webinar live, active, and attractive. Thank you, Marina. And the support of all the faculty members are very much acknowledged. Thank you so much. A special thanks to Professor Francis Xavier sir for the technical support. And thanks to Chiku Ramanan, the student coordinator, for the initiativeness and support. The most important part of the webinar are the participants. Thanks to each one of you for attending this webinar. Hope this webinar has definitely put some takeaways for each one of you in your life's journey. All the best and good luck to all of you. Now, once again, I thank Norma Madam and each one who is participating in this webinar. Thank you so much. Thank you again. Now we have come to the close of this webinar, and there's a reminder for you. The feedback forms are given in the link to the feedback form is in the chat box. Kindly fill in the feedback forms and get your e-certificates. Thank you so much. Thank you again, Norma ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. In fact, it was a really wonderful experience hearing you. Today and yesterday, you have gone in details to all the aspects of big data and gone in detail on the role of mathematicians in big data, their career opportunity for them, and the supplementary skills they should possess and their future, etc. Your sessions were really beneficial for all of us. Thank you very much for enlightening us, and we think about more such ventures with you in future. So thank you very much.